Hello, my dear listeners. Welcome to another episode of the Board Game Snobs. Quick note up top. There's going to be a first part in which me and Jerry discuss Moon Colony Bloodbath, and then there will be a second part. So, don't go nowhere, in which we interview a new listener, Michelle. She emailed us. She made some comments on our certain episodes, and then she emailed in about things we were going to do as BGS 2.0 as we try to focus more on gaming, and being more interactive with listeners. And she's like, yeah, I'd like to come on. So here she is. So stay tuned and listen to new listener Michelle and her thoughts and feelings on games and what she likes playing, and et cetera, et cetera. Also, one of the primary reasons for this note up top, like a high five, up top. Does anybody say that when they high five? Up top. And they high five somebody? Anyway, the first part of this, where it's just me and Jerry called me and said, hey, I'm coming through town. I said, what if we record real quick about Moon Colony Bloodbath before I, forget everything about it? He's like, okay, set it up real quick. I set it up, and it's going to sound garbled in certain points. It might sound okay to you for the most part, which would be great. Thanks to the editing software I run it through. But then you're going to notice that certain parts is pretty it's like, it gets a little garbled. That's because the mistake was the sound, since I didn't do a sound check. Rookie mistake. First time in a long time. First time ever, I think. Perhaps. Maybe. Anyway. We recorded through the computer microphone, which is terrible, as everybody knows. It wasn't going through the mics as we thought it was. It was going through the computer. So therefore, it sounds pretty terrible. I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
Oh, well, pardon me, Mr. Perfect. I guess I forgot that you never ever make a mistake.
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
And go to myself. Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. I'm Gabby. Shortly to join me is Jerry. On his way through town, he thought he'd swing by and record a quick sesh. I see.
You got a Voodoo Ranger in here? You got me drinking vodka.
Well, you can drink Voodoo Ranger. You can
I don't know. I'm too deep in.
You can drink whatever you
Got
want.
your notebook out.
Yeah, because today we're going to discuss Moon Colony Bloodbath. But before that,
I'm just laughing at it. Go ahead.
okay.
No. You can before that.
Before that, I have a real issue with can openers.
Ooh. Can't openers.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm with you. Go ahead.
I will spend. I'll spend $1,000
No, you won't.
if you can give me a can opener that will open a can smoothly for years.
Can I ask you a question?
Because I have bought cheap can openers, and I say cheap, I mean, I don't know what cheap is. 10, 50. Well, how much is a can opener? A KitchenAid brand, seemingly name brand stuff. Now, granted, I open up to, not cans of whoop.
You open a lot of cans.
I open up to perhaps 16 cans a day sometimes.
Yes, you eat it, Bob. You eat the legumes. You are the bean master.
This can opener needs to be sturdy, rugged, have endurance, have a strong consistency to it, and none of them last. None of them last longer than a few months. And eventually, I'll just sit there, and either the opening gets very rough, and it's just like, or just something on it just breaks, and it just spins. The other day, I was in the middle of opening a can, and it just stopped working, just stopped straight up working. I ran down to the just $1. Now, granted, that's not where you want to go, but I didn't want to go to Walmart because I was on my lunch break in a hurry. I bought like a $2 can opener, and it got exactly that.
Yeah.
It worked literally for 2 days.
All right. So let me When you get to a point to your rant, because I want to talk to you about this.
Well, I'm pretty much done. I would pay $100 for a quality can opener that lasts me longer than a year.
Question: is it one of the manual can openers?
Yes.
Okay. So, two quick things. One, growing up, my dad gave me a K tool when I was very young. If you don't know what a K tool is, then you
Is that the cowboy style?
Cowboy style. And carry this on you at all times in any survival situation, because if you ever need to open a can, you're going to need to. There you go. And I, to this day, have a K tool on my kit. I don't know why. I have never used it. I've never needed it. But if I have an emergency, we need to get a can open. There you go. It also has Baldwin on it. Two things. My son Jack loves making pizza. He makes his own pizza. And in doing so, he opens cans. He suffered the same issue that you had of ineffectual, not affectionate enough can openers, because they don't stay with you. So we purchased in our home an electric can opener. Stands yay tall, black. I did not know how to operate it because I was so ignorant, because I was so Emmanuel. You just stick the can in there, click it in, push the button, it opens it. This thing has been a staple in our household. It's in our pantry next to all the cans. And so when you take down a can, you glance, no pull top, stick it there, push the button, comes off, boom. And I have heard zero complaints, nor have I been asked to open any cans since the purchase of this electric can opener. I do not feel like it was that expensive. I think it was, it seems like one of those items, because I am one of those people that loves buying item KitchenAid stuff. Like I'm thinking, oh, I need this roller or this thing.
Little gadgets.
I need this gadget. So I have to be very careful and get my wife's approval before purchasing a gadget. I did not purchase this gadget. My wife did. And so if my wife buys it, you know it's legit.
Well, I remember us having when I was a young child, we had electric can opener. And it was whatever that turd colored green was from the 80s and 70s. And you'd stick the can up in there and it would miraculously hold the can, and you push it and it just twists it all by itself and pops it off. And then you lift it up and the magnet kept the can lid, and you just poured out the goods. It went to a commercial or something on your phone. It's an ad.
It's like, yeah, it's cheap. They're relatively cheap. This is not the one I have. It's not the $15 Dollar General one, but that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't see. I went and purchased off of Amazon a $20 manual can opener.
$20,
and currently it glides like a Cadillac across the top of that can, also slicing it wide open. I'm sure it will. I bought it last month, May of 2026. We'll see.
You have any other product recommendations? I can't help but notice that you on your desk here you have Sauvage d'Or, which is like the.
It's kind of the cliche.
It is. It's cliche.
It's like the go-to cologne these days. Although probably not these days. That's probably like 3 or 5 years ago days. Now I don't know what the thing is.
And the only reason that's in my zeitgeist is that somebody here recently made like some sort of comment about some product becoming the Sauvage d'Or. And I thought, what in the world is that? I thought it was like something.
Is that the new? What was it when we was kids?
Odd. Michael Jordan.
No, there was another S one.
Oh, wish you hadn't said that. You would have came to me here and just.
Everybody had it when I was a kid.
Everybody had it.
Quick edit point. Drakkar Noir is the one I was trying to think of. Drakkar Noir. Not easy to say. Back to the show.
I mean, this was not a cheap bottle. I mean, it's like $80.
It's a lot for perfume.
It is, but you smell good. Actually, I smelled it on DJ, and I was like, you smell good, DJ. What is that? It does smell good. And he's like, that's Sauvage. I was like, okay.
I don't know who it was, but the Hispanic guy that I sat behind at that Dallas Stars game, that hockey game, that dude.
Hispanic people generally smell. They have really good smelling colognes.
It was busting.
My wife.
I came very close to asking him.
But the issue is your body chemistry changes the smell.
It does.
And so what smells good on one person?
Smell like Chick-fil-A.
Gina, she will smell something on somebody. She's like, I want you to get this. It smells good.
Mixed Savage quarter pounder.
The McDior.
The McDior.
And so I get it and I spray it on me, and she's like, it don't quite smell the same on you. Oh, well, excuse me.
I'm not big on cologne because, one, I can't hardly wear it because I go into old people's homes all the time for business, not like I creep into old people's homes, hospice.
Mhm.
And I don't want, and sounds weird. This sounds very weird, but as you well know, your olfactory senses are what kind of bring back memories. I do not want my smell to be the thing that brings back the memory of a dead loved one to a family. Like, no matter how good I
Oh, that
smell,
makes sense.
it's like, and plus, you don't know people are allergic to it
Well, I do it specifically for one specific reason.
because you sweat.
No, I don't actually. I don't stink when I sweat.
The ladies.
No, that's already done.
We've been doing that a lot here on Discord. We got plenty of women listening to this podcast.
Welcome, Michelle,
It's in the hush.
and hello to Linda. One thing as a fat man I don't want to do is ever be associated with a stink. And fortunately, my wife has told me over the years, as has Sade, that for a large man, thankfully, I don't have a smell. I don't stink. But I don't want to stink. And also, I want to smell good. I want people to smell me. They're like, he smells. Not only does he not stink, he actually smells good.
You've been feeding the caricature.
Yeah. So I'm trying to, and like Bubba said the other day, like Bubba said in the previous podcast about, buying a high quality shoe that, it looks good. You feel good wearing it. You're putting yourself together. Of course, not when I'm here at the house working. I don't necessarily dress up for myself, but
You got the old Carhartt t-shirt on, I see.
you should see my shorts I'm wearing.
I'm
But other
glad
than
you're
that,
wearing-
yeah,
That's good. No, well, I look into the electric can opener
I will.
because it's been a thing, and it's a staple in my household.
Does it open more than one can a day?
Oh yeah, but at the same time, I know you'd open a lot of cans, and I would say that I would definitely look into the reviews of like getting. Here's the thing: when you're doing a lot of the thing, certain your common products don't work out. For instance, I wore out my washer and dryer because I do laundry constantly because I can't stand laundry, and Whirlpool dies on you. That's why we've decided no more Whirlpool. Get a Speed Queen.
Okay.
Like these are the types that you buy, the old school ones that don't have much electronics that you see in like laundromats.
Yes,
Those.
I concur.
Speed Queen. That sucker will. That is my queen.
When I used to work in a appliance retail store, and we had that same theory. There was always Whirlpool. Whirlpool was one of our go-tos, though. KitchenAid is also there. There's also, oh my God, it's the cheap one, General Electric.
Yeah.
That you don't want that. But nowadays, it's very hard not to get something with an electronics motherboard on it.
Yeah.
But the simpler you go, the better.
Better off stripping down. You don't talk about Bloodbath? While you do that, tell people how to play it while I go get a beer.
Edit point here. Sorry. The recording, again, was not great. And also, neither was my explanation. So, while Jerry went to go get his drink, let me do it again. So, Moon Colony Bloodbath is about rival scientists building lunar colonies. Although, if you're a scientist on the moon, I guess it's just a colony, right? No need to call it lunar. Like Chinese people eating Chinese food. They just call it food, right? Anyway, I digress. So, you're trying to build up your colony, all in the meantime knowing that disaster is going to hit and things are going to go wrong. You're going to have malfunctioning robots, hunger, accidents, leaks, power failures, all types of stuff that will kill people and destroy buildings. And the goal is just to keep the most colonists alive longer than everyone else. The main thing is you have this shared progress deck that all players build and draw from. And cards are going to come out with work cards, trouble cards, and twist cards. The work cards, guess what? You quote unquote work. And with that work, you can mine, which is money. You can farm, which is food. You can research, which is drawing buildings. Build or restock boxes, which we found completely useless. And I actually don't think we even discussed that portion in our quick review of the game here, but Perhaps we will with Michelle. Trouble cards add deadly event cards to the deck. Twists add unique game variations. So your tableau building, you're building up your buildings and modifying actions. You generate resources and add people. You try to feed everything, feed everybody, and then events happen and kill people again and kill buildings. And then those buildings, once they're destroyed, can turn into people, which we kind of discussed as well. And so the game ends when one player's colony is completely wiped out, there's no people left, or the shared event deck reaches the final card. The player with the most surviving population wins. And now back to the previous recording.
No. That's why I say you want to be the most efficient at losing, because you're all losing.
That terminology confuses me.
Okay.
Because it's like the most efficient at losing. To me, that implies like you're trying to lose.
You're like the best loser.
You're the best loser.
I can see
And
where you
really,
got
you're
that.
trying to resist.
But my point was, like, you're all losing. You want to be the most efficient at, well, I guess not losing.
Yeah.
You're correct.
It's like the saying this weekend, or let's go to, no, it's next weekend. It drives me insane. If I go, let's go to next weekend.
So today is Thursday.
Next weekend, to the vast majority of people, are going to think this coming Saturday and Sunday.
Well, they're fools.
I always think the next weekend.
Correct.
I leapfrog the current weekend. I've had this conversation with many people who, when they'll go, let's get together next weekend, I'd be like, wait a minute. There's this coming weekend, and then there's the next weekend.
Correct.
I understand that I am alone in this way of thinking.
Well, there's two of us at least.
I know.
When I say next weekend, I mean the one after this coming
I'm
one.
sure I infected you with that.
No, I've always been this way.
Red pill you?
You may have.
Black pill you?
Because if I mean this
You
weekend,
feel
I will say this weekend.
A weekend pilled you. Yes, I know. This weekend.
What would the weekend pill look like?
Double dose of something. I don't know what. I don't understand what pills are.
I don't know. It's a Matrix thing. It's a 20-year-old reference, and people are still making it.
Love it. I love making old references.
Morpheus.
So, Moon Colony Bloodbath, as you so described it, I think this game would have been fine if it had not. Okay, here's the biggest issue with games like this. They get hot. People start talking about them. They're on the hot list. People get them. This game is not designed for gamers. This game is a family level game. I'm withholding my deeper thoughts on this game until I get to play it with my kids, because I think this would be a neat little game to play with my kids. To go, here, let me teach you deck building. Oh, and your stuff's going to get taken away and you die, and it's very simplistic. It's the next step up from Sorry in a lot of ways. You're just flipping a card and something's going to happen.
I also forgot to mention that the part of the whole process is you have up to a card that will say basically work, and then you choose one of
like a handful of options,
6 or 7 options. You can
you're seeding a deck, a common deck, that in the top of it's getting flipped off, and it's saying this is what happened, and you can work 4 times basically throughout the game. And those 4 work actions are like play a card, get rid of something, produce something. That's essentially all that you're doing. You're building up your hand, or throwing stuff into the common deck, or putting something in your tableau. I think this is a great entry-level game, family-level game. But the problem is that it's gotten popular. Gamers think from the artwork and the publisher and what they hear about it that it's like a gamer's game. And it's not a gamer's game. I was bored with it. I think that I will love playing this with my kids, though. I think this will be a good one for your kids.
Yeah, and I have heard that in most reviews, it seems like people either kind of love this game or hate it.
Jason hated it.
Yeah, one of our folks we was with, Jason Gotro.
Gotro is a cook and a half.
Did not want to play this game. He despised this game. He said, and he kept acting like he was surprised it lasted, longer than 15 minutes.
We can hang on to stuff. We will not let stuff go.
And yeah, because whenever you build basically, yeah. So when you work, you're going to build buildings, or you can add people, or you can add money, and then you use that money to buy the buildings that ends up being people, because when a building's destroyed, it's worth 10 people. Then you get those people, and then cards flip over, say, kill those people. So then you kill some amount of people. And that was my problem with this game, is it just felt like flipping cards and reacting to those cards, which that's what you're doing.
It's Sorry.
And yeah.
It's the next step up from Sorry.
And there's sometimes it's like, well, like you often say about certain games, it's like there's only really one course of action to take.
Right.
That would be sensible in this scenario, and that's the one you do. So it's not much of a game there.
people will enjoy this, I think, with your family. It's a lighter family weight game that I'll be interested to play this with my kids and see if they like it.
I feel like it's trying to be like the new Galaxy Trucker, where Galaxy Trucker is like you build up this truck just to get destroyed.
First off, shout out to Blattle Chevatel. Oh, first off, great name. Secondly,
is that it? Blattle
Chevatel.
Chevatel?
Yes, I'm a big Blattle Chevatel fan. Go ahead and
Are you?
I love Blattle.
What's another one?
He's the dude that did all the Dungeon Pet games. Blattle Chevatel. He did the.
Do you have to say both of his first and last name each time?
I'm not just going to call him Blattle. He's the guy that did the Codenames
Right.
or Codenames.
Oh.
Blattle, you don't know
I know his name, but it's just weird the way you're saying it.
It's Blattle Chevatel.
It's no, okay, so that's where you're throwing me. There's no L at the end of Vlada.
Blattle Chevatel.
Vlada Chevatel.
Blattle Chevatel.
Where is he from? The Czech?
He's Czech.
Wow.
He's Czech. He's over there. He's over there with the Portal Games guys.
Vlad.
But Vlad, that Galaxy Trucker is way heavier, and Galaxy Trucker is the OP game. Like, I love Galaxy Trucker.
Never played it. We got it for free one time at one of our. I know. I think you have my copy that I've never played
because you wouldn't want to play it.
They sent it. It was one of those free BGG games, which to me is always kind of a red flag. It's like, oh,
I don't know.
I know that now because I know Galaxy Trucker, but that was old. Like it was already old when we got it for free. And then they eventually gave out Wingspan because like everybody has a copy of Wingspan, but Wingspan is like a legitimate hit. So
Galaxy Trucker was a legitimate hit.
Yeah, I know, but it's the same thing with that though. People hate that game though because it's like people hate some people.
There's an app. There's always going to be something.
It's bipolarizing.
They need to remove one of their polls. The bipolar gamer.
Because
one day I hate a game and the next day
I think you can. I think you can be a bipolar gamer. And lots of people don't like Galaxy Trucker because I work so hard building this truck. It's like, no, you're not.
No,
Putting pieces on a game board.
It's one of the few tile lane games I like.
And then eventually it's going to get. It's not will it. It's not if it will. Oh wait, it's not if. It's will.
It's
wait. Yes, that's right.
If it's will. What's Will been up to? It's not if. It's will.
It's not if. It's when it gets destroyed. And that's the way Moon Colony is. You have a little bit of time to build your buildings and build this tableau. And you at one point felt very comfortable with yours, and everybody did.
I got comfortable.
And then boom, they're all gone.
Killed my people.
Robots and I don't know, moon tornadoes.
We brought up Galaxy tornadoes.
Well, one just hit, a couple after this. One hit San Antonio.
What?
A tornado.
A moon tornado.
A moon tornado hit San Antonio.
When?
A bunch of people showing their butts, just going in a circle. Like a couple weeks ago.
Shut Up and Sit Down did a review of Galaxy Trucker way back in the day. If you were real Shut Up and Sit Down, I'm talking about Quinn's and Paul. That's what introduced me to it. I had the app when it came out, and I played Galaxy Trucker, the app, so much. It's really, really good. You get it on your phone.
I've never played it. I've seen it.
Loved it.
You got to pay for it?
I don't know. I had it on my old tablet, but yeah, I loved Galaxy Trucker. And then never picked up a copy because I played on the app. Never because I knew nobody would want to play it with me. Played it once with my kids when I got that copy, and they absolutely loved it. Remind me next time we will play a big game of Galaxy Trucker.
Okay,
it's great.
Also, yeah, the art on Moon Colony,
bland.
I think they were kind of going for like a weird retro look, and
they nailed it.
Ends up looking terrible.
They nailed it.
I didn't like it.
Everybody looked like everybody looks bipolar. Everybody looks like they're well medicated bipolarisms. It's very uncanny valley look. That weird retro.
Have weird looking eyes.
Uncanniness to them, like they're mannequins.
I like to uncanny the tops off the cans with my uncanny opener.
Wait, that's probably your best opener that you've ever done.
Moon Colony Bloodbath. Trying to see who does it.
It's Rio Grande.
Designer Donald X Vaccarino.
Is Vaccarino?
Who's X? I wonder what X stands for.
Vaccarino. Javier.
Doesn't say. It just says Donald X.
It's Vaccarino.
I wonder if he's related to Malcolm.
He's done a lot of stuff. Vaccarino did. He did a bunch of card games. What major card games did he do?
Dominion.
That's right. That's what I was thinking.
He's the Dominion guy, so I guess he knows what he's doing. Kingdom Builder.
Yeah, he does a lot of simple games.
And some
I've never got to play Kingdom Builder IRL.
artist. Here's where your issue's at. Franz Vohwinkel,
Isn't Franz the dude that does all the artwork on like
Puerto Rico, Beyond the Sun, Raw? No, he didn't do Raw.
he did?
Maybe he did the original
I'm sorry,
Raw.
that's Clemens Franz who does the artwork on the Marigot.
Because they got old what's his face for the guy that's all the rage all the time to do the new Raw, didn't they?
Not Marigot. Mayday. What's these M's? Mayfair. Sorry. Man.
Ian O'Toole did the new one.
Ian O'Toole is
But I don't know why it has, when I look up Franz Vohwinkel, and he has Raw, The Quest for El Dorado,
he did the old one.
Clank in Space.
Ooh. Enrique, the one game Enrique has ever purchased. That's
Clank in Space.
Yeah, and we need to play Clank in Space again.
Oh, it's all right. Let's see. Something else I had on here. Do you have something else game-wise you want to discuss? Because that's what we're all about these days on the Board Game Snobs podcast.
I think hating on the hotness that is Moon Colony Bloodbath is a not game talk for one day.
Okay, let me hate on something else that you disagree with.
Oh.
Spider Noir.
Oh, don't bring up the Noir.
First of all, that makes me angry because all I can think of is an Australian saying no.
No.
Listen, Noir, why?
I know why you don't like it. Because you started watching it thinking it was going to be a superhero film, and I watched it thinking it was going to be a noir film. And I was actually it was me watching a noir film, which I love, and there being superhero elements in it. They should have made that clear to everybody that this is not a superhero film. This is noir, and it happens to have this universe stuff in it.
I mean, I think it's in the name. So plus I was familiar with the character only from Spiders Across the Universe.
The multiverse.
Spider-Man.
Don't make me correct you, even though I'm not a Marvel guy.
Multiverse. And I thought he was hilarious in that. This, not funny, boring. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if you watch it in black and white. You can pretend it's an old movie. I hate that. It's just kitschy to me. Like it's in color. Watch it in color. We're in the modern world.
Oh no!
You can't retroactively pretend this was old. This is like a Humphrey Bogart movie. No,
that's not the.
No, I'd watch it.
Oh my!
I'd rather watch a Humphrey Bogart movie any day.
You're gonna get torn up
over Spider Noir.
Torn up by our Discord because we have a lot of film critics in our Discord, and they understand why you would do a film in black and white. Mind you, Oppenheimer, vast stretches of it was in black and white.
Why?
Because black and white, the contrast of it. First off, we do not have time for me to go on about
5 minutes
color and black and whiteness in movies, because what will end up happening.
I'm glad you said and whiteness,
because I will then get onto my tangent about one of the greatest films ever produced in terms of color and presentation. There has never been a film like it. It is the absolute pinnacle.
Was it in color or in black and white?
It was in color. The pinnacle of movie making at the time, as it is now. There has never been a movie like it. There will never be a movie in the future anywhere in comparison. And if you can name the film I'm talking about, it has the most vibrant, not only color palette, but presentation. And one of the absolute
Avatar.
Freaking no CGI. Absolute best film.
Spartacus. That's what we always talk about.
No. It's a modern.
Schindler's List.
Modern.
And modern.
Color.
Modern how modern?
Color.
The last 20 years?
Yeah. Actually, no, probably 25. Probably a little later than that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This was 2026, all year 2000. Okay, no, 2000.
Has Al Pacino in it. It's 1990.
36 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Al Pacino. Scent of a Woman.
No, I'm talking about it is obviously insane. Had Madonna, Warren Beatty, Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, Dick Tracy.
Absolutely. Okay. From a technical standpoint, if you want to go down a rabbit hole and you feel that you're some sort of film critic, look up a Dick Tracy film, the color palette, and why that film is unique. That is a absolute, the history behind that 1990 movie is insane. And that show is nothing. There will never be anything like Dick Tracy. That was one of my favorite movies growing up.
I used to have all those characters.
I did too. I hate my mother for making me sell them. I hate her.
I had them
Hate her.
up until not too long ago.
Who'd you have?
I had Dick Tracy, of course, but I had Flat Top or Flathead. Flat Top. I had
Prune Face.
Prune Face and the rodent, the rat, whoever Al Pacino was.
Al Pacino was
like a rat guy.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm blanking all of a sudden.
But I had him. Yeah, I had those three. Prune Face. And Prune Face kind of creeped me out.
Those were peak action figures, by the way. They don't make stuff like that anymore. Those were insanely good.
Yeah, no, that was a good color film.
But Spider Noir is a noir film. I understand why you don't like it. And I'm glad I didn't listen to you, because after I started listening to music, I realized it wasn't
even interesting. There was no chemistry between any of those actors other than maybe the guy you like.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Ragnall. Grumhall Gleason's
Oh my God, yeah, that guy. Gleason and Nick Cage.
I thoroughly enjoyed
the femme fatale. God, the reporter guy, Lamorne Morris. I like him in New Girl. I just don't think he's funny.
Now, I'm not saying
it was forced humor. Their chemistry was awful. His secretary, she was okay. It was boring to me. No, that's not it. I like noir.
No, you don't like that.
I like that. You always tell me what I like.
You don't. Because you end up saying,
I'm a Maltese Falcon guy through and through.
Whatever.
I just watched Casablanca the other day for the love of it.
Ew.
That's a good movie.
Oh
my God.
Racist.
Well, I mean, they were all racist. They were fighting the Germans. What do you expect?
What?
The Germans.
So it's okay? But no, I understand why you didn't like Spider Noir. I did enjoy it. It will be one of those. I wish that they would do more stuff like that, but let people know what to expect. And
Nick Cage he's getting a little old.
Nick Cage will always be Nick Cage. I hope he makes movies until the day he dies. He can be 80.
He can be 80, but you can't be a spider character.
I love
the whole.
I have a deep affection.
I do too. But it was kind of like watching Robert De Niro and The Irishman.
No, nothing like that.
It was kind of like watching
because Nick Cage adds his own stuff to everything. The biggest crime that was ever committed was in the superhero universe of stories, the biggest crime for which they will never atone for, is the fact that they had Nick Cage cast to be Superman, and they didn't go through with it.
Oh, he don't have the look of Superman.
I don't care. That would have been amazing. We would still talk. We would still be talking about it to this very day if they had. Yes. Because Nick Cage is the complete opposite of what you expect in Hollywood.
The kryptonite.
That's exactly
the kryptonite.
He is pranking all of Hollywood, and we're all in on the joke. I love Nick Cage.
I love Nick Cage too. I just did not like this show. Just because I love somebody doesn't mean I'm gonna like everything they do.
Rarely do I binge something.
I wanted to like this show. I literally made it into 5 episodes of a show I could not stand. I was so bored. I forced myself through it. However, all you listening, watch Secret Detectives. It's on Prime.
My kids watch that.
It's absolutely just a precious movie.
My kids watch that, and then immediately when I come home, they said, "Listen to this sheet and tell us if you know who the voice is."
Yes,
I go, "It's Patrick Stewart." How'd you know? It's like, because I grew up. Patrick Stewart was my father from 1989 to 1999. Yes, he was a long time.
Detectives also, Agent Cam reactivated. But that's our thoughts on Moon Colony Space Bloodbath.
And now for our listener interview with new listener, Michelle. And now we are joined by Michelle and Jerry for the interview Michelle, a new listener portion of the episode. which we may or may not
New
keep,
listener portion.
depending on how Michelle turns out. We don't know. She's finding out about us. We're finding out about her. And Michelle, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me. I couldn't be more excited.
You sound like Chandler from Friends. I couldn't be more excited.
Well, I am coming to you from California, so maybe that's a thing.
Oh, okay. You did say Pacific Standard Time, so.
That's right. But not LA.
LA.
Well, how were you saying
No.
it, Gary? LA.
LA.
No.
LA. What
No.
part of California? Don't dox yourself, but is it the nice part or the...
It's the nice part, exactly.
Okay,
It's the northern California.
That's the part.
Looks
The
like
trees.
a wine country,
That's
the way
right.
she's been drinking this whole time.
Yeah, I'm not too far from wine country. That's right.
Nice. We have several listeners in LA. We have at Soma in the Discord, Dave Allen in the Discord, others. They're the most prominent ones I can't remember. Forgive me if I can't remember the rest of you. So, Michelle, you messaged us. I'm assuming you're the Michelle that made comments on Spotify.
That is me. Mm-hmm.
So what I
I
appreciated.
wrote a beautiful comment, by the way, on your. I almost called it a session. I'm a therapist too. I'm sorry I didn't warn you about that.
No, that's why she's on here.
We have
But-
so much to talk about.
She's ambushing us.
Yes, I have thoughts, but I'm not ambushing. I will not offer anything, but I just almost call on your podcast a few episodes back where you had the intervention with Gabi, which was so beautiful. It was so well done. I just couldn't.
Thank
the
you.
way Enrique kept saying "I love you" every 30 seconds to a minute. I just like he's getting to the core of it. This is about love. We have some feedback, but we love you. It was beautiful. I couldn't.
Well,
believe
all
it.
that about 20 minutes prior to that, I told Enrique what we were going to do, and I said, you just need to be very supportive, and you need to fill in the gaps where I cannot, and that gaps is going to be expressing emotions. So anything that you can say that will be touching, and he just went on repeat of just saying, I love you every 30 seconds, and it works.
It was a beautiful thing. I mean, families could hire him for difficult conversations just to say that. Sorry, we're talking about you, Gabi. Like you're not here.
I'm being quiet and listening. Apparently, that's what I need to do.
Yes.
That's the feedback I
I thought you
received.
handled it beautifully too. I loved all of your reactions and
Thank
your
you.
your honesty and even some of your just knee-jerk instinctual, let's just shut it down. That was from the heart.
You're like
It
classic.
told me how invested you are in this podcast.
Oh, okay. Interesting. It's interesting. I ask that you don't go back and listen to like the years 22 and 23. Just avoid those years.
Well, I did go back to the beginning. I think I might still be in 2017.
Oh, okay. Well, you're good then. It doesn't get hairy
I gotta-
until about the years 22 and 23. And there's some pretty hot, intense. Well, that made it sound erotic. I meant there's some pretty heated.
What's your thoughts on Freud?
I'm now I got to jump. Now you're making me jump to 22. I was intending to follow, but now I'm like, what is he talking about? I got to go listen to 2022 and 2023.
We had some pretty good.
I had a tumor that was causing me a great deal of distress. So anything in those years, there's a big asterisk. I didn't mean it.
And you always say that, and I always like to say, well, it wasn't just you. I was a overly sensitive person at the time.
At the time.
I don't really like overly sensitive. I mean, I know you guys were just talking about being sensitive in the last episode, and sensitivity is a good thing. So overly sensitive kind of implies that it's not. But I'm going to stop there. I don't want to go on a.
She can't help it. She can't help herself. She can't help herself. So, did you just stumble upon the podcast for a particular reason?
I did.
Search or
I don't
what?
know how I stumbled upon it. I started listening to board game podcasts, gosh, maybe about 6 months ago because I couldn't get people in my personal life to talk to me about board games as much as I wanted to talk about board games. And so podcasts are kind of like a conversation. I just happen to be doing all the listening, which I'm used to, so that's okay. And then y'all were recommended to me, I think by the algorithm. They're like, she's probably going to like these guys. And then my second or third episode was the intervention. And I was like, this is great, because if they didn't go back to talking about board games, I'm not sure how long I would have hung in. And B, this is one of the most incredible conversations I've ever heard a group of men have. It was so impressive. And it just hooked me. I'm like, I'm in.
Interesting. Very nice.
Well, see, we're being studied by therapists everywhere. I have a feeling like they're going to take this podcast and it be something that counselors and therapists everywhere listen to and get examples from and go, this is what not to do. This is what a toxic relationship will, codependence.
I don't think so, but more to come.
More to come. More to come.
Yeah, your first comment was on our episode 114 Pan Am discussion. You said the game discussion was interesting, but man, that was a painful search for when game discussion actually started. And why was one guy so frustrated to hear the game described? Kind of weird for a podcast about board games.
Okay, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
That's an accurate description, though.
So what
I didn't.
But what I hate, Michelle, is if you, as I'm sure you have in your, I think when you emailed us, you said you got into board gaming about 3 years ago. Is that correct?
Yes, I fell down the rabbit hole.
And we'll go back to that here in a second. But so in those 3 years, I'm sure you've listened to other board game podcasts. For me personally, and Jerry gripes about it too, but I generally, when I'm listening for a game, I've already played the game, and I do what Jerry often says, like I go back and listen to podcasts oftentimes to see what others have thought about a game I've already played, kind of to just fortify my own thoughts on it. Like I already know how I feel, but let's see if my favorite podcast or this other podcast kind of feels the same way. And so then oftentimes their game description just bores me to tears. It's the most boring part of most podcasts to me, board gaming podcasts. I have yet to find somebody that does it interestingly. Jerry kind of does a brief overview, and I'm sure he'll tell you he's the best game descriptionist. But so that's why when it comes to board game descriptions and like, Secret Cabal, they'll go back and they're like, he pre-records it and does the whole thing. And that might be the way to go. But to me, it's just the most boring part because I already know how to play the game. I just want to hear their thoughts on it. But that's me approaching it from my narrow point of view of a board game podcast.
I mean, I think you're on something because the ones where they go in, they spend like literally 2 or 3 minutes explaining the game. That's a little much for me, especially if it sounds really formulaic. I think I know the one you're talking. It's, they've got their system and they're sort of almost droning on about it. You know what I mean? The way they talk about the rules, that's too much. But a little something, because chances of me having played every game you guys have played, I mean, at this point, they're fair and Midland. There's a lot of games I haven't played, but it's a little context. I think a little context is helpful. Like this is a co-op game, 2 to 5 players with a hidden traitor. You guys were just talking about Nemesis. Something to give, it's played in rounds or there's worker placement or I don't know, something to ground me in what is it that we're talking about here. But I agree. The big long diatribe about what this game is and the rules and the rounds and et cetera, that's too much.
I tend to go on how it makes you feel. And I think that to me, the best description of a game is basically trying to encapsulate how it makes you feel. It's kind of like if you're trying to describe a book that you've read to somebody, you kind of give a synopsis of the storyline, but you kind of want to know, is this going to make you feel emotional because it's a horror? Is it a fantasy book and it's adventurous? You just want to get the overall feeling of it across. And I think that's the easiest thing to do, or the most beneficial thing to do with trying to describe a game is try to get across the idea of how you're going to feel while playing the game rather than just trying to drone on about the various mechanics, because most people can't picture that in their mind or get a good feeling for it anyways from that.
When it impart the vibe that you're going to, what's the vibe of this game going to be like?
Exactly. I'm all about the vibe.
So speaking of which, in your email to us about what will we discuss, one of the things you mentioned was archetypes of gaming. And in there, you said, as I try to clumsily get to it,
the min-maxer, the storyteller,
board game player
the
archetypes.
social gamer.
Yeah. So when you got to because like you said, I think most everyone is kind of just a mix depending on
mood and all that type of stuff. Like maybe I'm in the mood for this, I'm in the mood for that, or, certain circumstances call for a party game. You don't really have much of a choice there. Before I get to what I feel, do you have a particular one of those archetypes you feel that you are?
I can say what I'm not most of the time, for sure. I'm not a rules lawyer usually, although I can be, especially if it impacts me considerably late game. Then I'm going to get the book out and we're going to figure this out. So I can be, but usually not. I'm not a social gamer. I am not just here to connect. I'm here to play a game. I like the social part of it, no doubt. I mean, I want to play games with other people, but people who are chit-chatting and not taking their turn excessively, I can start to get really frustrated. I'm a bit of a collector. I'm not a min-maxer.
Me neither.
Mm-mm.
Me neither.
I am not.
Jerry is.
I am not.
100% Jerry is.
Jerry's probably a better board
I'm
game player than I am.
Oh yeah, Jerry has the brain capacity to like look at the game, see exactly what does this, what does that, what will maximize, or what will minimize. He has that ability, as does Bubba. I do not have that ability. Therefore, I am what you would say, and I've never seen this before. Like I didn't ever even thought about all these things, but I'm the vibes guy. I do what feels right, good or bad, and it can often lead to chaos. I just that's what I told. I was talking to somebody. I was like, I look at the board. I know what I can do. I know what I want to do, and after losing so many games, you'd think I'd get tired of losing and think, here's what I need to do. I need to slow down, approach the game from a very strategic point, and say, if I do this, and oftentimes, I don't do it no more because I'm not as invested heavily. But are you familiar with Rado?
Yes.
So Rado, in watching his videos, he will step by step go through, if I do this, it will lead to this, this, and this. But if I do that, it will do this, that, and that. I wish I would do that on my turns. But I think there's no other word to say it other than impatient, which is I'm ready to move the game along. And therefore, I'm ready. When it gets back to me, I know what I'm going to do, even to my detriment or success, because I'm tired of waiting, and boom, I'm done. Whereas
I think underneath the impatience is the investment. The investment is driving the impatience, because if you were more invested, that's what would generate the patience. I'm sure there's something in your life where you're more invested and you can show up with some patience. It could just be that you're impatient everywhere.
I do exhibit impatient qualities in other aspects of my life, but probably look at her, Jerry. She's trying to therapize me.
No, I knew you were impatient, but I don't view it I don't view it in the prerogative and the derogative. I think that it's just fine.
But when like Enrique, it never fails. He's got 30 minutes to think of his turn before it gets back around to him. And every time it gets back around to him, Enrique, it's your turn. Oh, well, let me now start looking at all the things available to me. And it drives me insane.
That's maddening. That would be maddening to anyone. Okay, if this is a game where the board game is constantly changing, right? But even in a game like that, like it's at Castles of Burgundy, right? People are picking up things and you can maybe have your plan, but it could change. But you should have like plan A, plan B, maybe even plan C, an idea.
Yes.
But when it comes to your turn and you've done no thought,
it's as if they've just been sitting there in a blank state for 3 turns.
You know what it reminds me of? This is another thing that gets me crazy. It doesn't happen so much anymore, but back in the day, but it still happens. People who are at the grocery store and they're checking out, and the person is running their groceries through, and the person says, "Okay, that'll be $43.95," and they go, "Oh," and they pull out their purse. Like, how did you think this transaction was going to end? Where did you think we were going?
Did you
just now realize you were going to have to give them some. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You cut out there for a little bit, but I 100% agree. And me and my wife have been married for 27 years. It never fails. Never fails. We pull up to the house late at night. We have groceries or whatever, and I'm picking up the groceries and she just walks up to the door, and I'm like, "Do you have your keys ready?" "Oh, let me start looking for the keys." When we're standing at the door, there's mosquitoes and bugs attacking us. Who knows what's on the street? It's like the thought of looking for her keys just occurred to her. And
this is all the same phenomena.
It is. It is.
Trait.
I have
what are these people doing?
I have told her, I was like, "Babe, as soon as we pull up to the house, grab your keys, have them ready to go."
That's feedback you get in a 27-year-long relationship right there.
Let
me give you a tip.
But that's that's the well, I had another thing I was going, but
I think that just comes from people being not distracted, but not being present in the moment and thinking about other things. Because some people are just, you're not in the moment of what you're doing. Your mind is elsewhere. Because I've done the same exact thing. Typically, it's always in a drive-through because I'm on the phone talking to somebody, or I'm listening to a podcast, or I'm having an argument in my head about something. And then I drive through Taco Bell and they're like, "This is $1.57 because you just ordered that one goofy burrito." And then I look at them wildly like, "Oh, I'm supposed to pay for this?" And I have literally gave them my credit card, been so embarrassed because I had to dig for it, them giving my credit card back and drive away without my food. Because it's just been like I blanked on what I was doing and have to go back around. So yeah, I think a lot of it is just people being not present in the moment and not thinking about what they're doing.
Well,
I know that's
You're probably right. You're probably right.
I think a part of it is my paranoia. Like every time we pull up to my house, we live on a busy street. So like every person that walks by, I just assume is there to kill me, especially at night. So when we get out of the car,
Yes, if you're going to pick a victim, it would be the 350-pound, 6'2" Chilean.
I live a life of paranoia, Michelle, and wherever we go, I assume everyone's out to kill me. And so then whenever we get out of the car at night, I'm like, "Have your keys ready. We got to get in the house as fast as possible." And I'm like trying to get in the house. And if there's like somebody just happens to be walking by, I just assume I'm fixing to die. And my wife is the complete opposite. Like she will leave the house unlocked. She has no worry. She grew up in a total different mindset. So for her, it's completely unnecessary to be that prepared. We went to
your house is next to a church and a Chick-fil-A.
I know.
It's not a bad neighborhood. You don't live in a ghetto.
We took a cruise in May. We docked in Cozumel, and we got off the boat with thousands of other people. Right off the pier there in Cozumel, we were on the Royal Caribbean, and like just right off the pier, we chose it specifically for that. It's by all the restaurants in a very populated spot. There's a little swim spot that's nice and clean, and you can get in the ocean in view of everything. You're not isolated. So my wife, she goes down to the pier, and she's like, "We can set our stuff over here." I'm like, "Nope, we can't watch it from there." "Well, we can set our stuff over here." I was like, "Nope, we can't watch it from there." She's like, she gets down in the water, she finds some rocks, she crawls up on the rocks, and she goes, "Throw me your stuff over here." So it's some stuff away from everyone else. We get our stuff over there. As soon as we do, some young men from what country I do not know, and I'm not going to, stereotype or nothing, but they were not.
Just do their accent.
Just to give us the vibe, just so we get a sense of what it was like.
And I didn't hear them speaking, so I can't do that. But I made a quick judgment call. But we set our clothes over there and all our valuables. And as no sooner did we set our stuff over there than some young men get out of the water that, all these other tourists are in. And they're just talking and laughing and stuff over there by our stuff. I can't enjoy myself in the water because I'm just staring at them. I'm glaring at them saying, why are all of a sudden are y'all over? Because I've seen too many documentaries, too many YouTube channels, like everyone rips you off. Everyone's there to steal and kill you and all this stuff. So I'm super focused on them. And my wife is like, They're tourists, just like you. They're just just relax. I could not do it. I just knew they were there to steal my, I don't know why I live a life of such paranoia, but I do. And they were perfectly fine. They were YouTubing themselves. They're probably popular YouTubers or something. They had the camera out and were laughing, but they just did it as soon as we set our valuables over there. And coincidentally, they got out by the same water. And that's just the way I live my life. And it's not fun. I wish I wasn't like this.
Michelle's gonna charge you for this session.
I have thought. Yeah.
But anyway, so what got you into gaming, Michelle?
What's that?
I said, what got you into gaming, Michelle?
Okay, what got me into gaming? I think it was coming out of what was that? The pandemic? No. Yes. I was like, wait, that's a board game. Coming out of the pandemic, I started to feel like I wasn't just interacting with people enough. And I was trying to figure out and I like board games. I've always liked board games. Even when I was a kid, I couldn't get the grown-ups to play board games with me as much as I wanted to play them. And so somehow this came, I don't know how, I don't remember how this came into my head. And me being me, I said, I'm going to start a board game group. I'm going to form a board game group in our town here, which I did. And now we get about 30 people every month. And then I found another board game group in the town over and we merged. So now we're this county board game group. And we have board game events probably every week. And I have people over to play board games. Thank you. Thank you very much. So it was a desire to connect more, but I love how board games give you a structure and we can talk, but we also got this other interesting thing going on.
Especially with somewhat strangers.
Right. Yeah.
Do you find...
Although I'll admit, when the first time I started playing with people, I actually tried to do more talking than I think many board gamers want to do. The game ended and I was like, so, tell me about yourselves. And we did talk, but I sensed like something. And then I came to understand, the culture does not include this like after game, get to know each other kind of thing. Or maybe it was just me. I don't know. But I don't do that anymore.
No after game analysis. So do you find when you try to, if you have like a regular, not game group, but friend group, do you find that you try to introduce games to that friend group and they don't want involved?
Well, those are different friends. I've got the friends who don't really want to be involved. I'm bringing them along extremely slowly. I mean, we've played Hitster, maybe a little Just One, but these other people, they came into my life because they also like board games. So I don't usually have that problem.
Isn't that odd when you have people that you're trying to proselytize to, that you're trying to bring into the board gaming, that you know kind of how to do it? You're very careful. You don't want to just throw them into it. It feels so. It is. I had this experience this last weekend where I had somebody over, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to come? You want to come to my office?" And we're at my house, and he's like, "I've never been into your office." And he walks into my office and sees all of my Kalex shelves, and he's like,
"Is he scared? Did he get scared?"
He stood there for a moment and says, "So what is this?" And it felt kind of weird in a way. I was like, "Come back here. I want to show you something." And like, "Come back to my red room," and open this door, and they just stand there. And I said, and very oddly, I said, "Pick one. Pick whichever one you want." And he picked one off. I was like, "Let's play it."
He said, "Not."
And then,
really? What did he pick?
Yes, Dinogenics.
Okay.
Dinogenics, which is it's an old Kickstarter game. It was like one of the first games we ever reviewed. It's basically Jurassic Park without the IP. You're making dinosaurs and trying to keep them housed and hope they don't break out. He played that, and immediately as we're playing, I'm sitting here going, he likes Star Trek. He likes space games. And I'm like, "Do you see anything else in here you'd like to play?" He's like, "Oh, I want to play. What about this?" I was like, "Well, next time you come over, we'll do this." And it's this feeling of, it's eerie. It's because you know that there is a step to it. You can't just go, "Here's this hard game we're going to play that's going to take 8 hours," and it's baby steps. I feel like it's almost like you're recruiting for a cult. It's like you just know.
Much is. It very, the first, I forgot until you just said this. before I started my own group, I found another group in the other direction, the other town over, went to that, did the thing that you do in a group. There's some quick games, and then now we're going to break into our real games that we're going to play. And I was trying to figure out which way to go. And some folks were starting up viticulture, which I know you guys, I think one of you is a fan of. And then I looked at that and was like, and I ended up going in the other direction, playing with these other folks. And I don't remember what I played, but it wasn't viticulture. I remember Skull was one of them. And I remember leaving that night saying, thank God I didn't end up at that table with those people that played that game that took all night. So I wasn't there yet. I was still green. I was still naive to the.
And what's so odd about it is that I have found that games that over a decade ago that I purchased and was like, oh, this is too much, or I don't care for it, and I sold them. A decade later, I've purchased them and been like, no, this game is fire. Because I'm here now. And it's a very odd, I don't know any other, I'm sure there is, but there's I don't know really any other hobby where there's such this weird dynamic in not only the archetypes of the players and the types of games, but also just the progression of it. It's super odd.
You guys were complaining about rule books that were more than, I want to say, 5 pages long. So I went back, right? And you guys, if the rule book, I think Gabi was saying, if it's more than 5-6 pages long, I'm out. It was, and I was like, there's been an evolution here.
Yes.
Because I'd listened to some of the newer ones, and I knew that you were in rule books that were more than 5 or 6 pages long. So it
is a progressive thing, and I got into board gaming because of my father was big into card games and board games, and then when he passed away, that's kind of what brought me back into it. And I started off as a solo gamer, just sitting around playing these solo war games. And the thing that broke me was that when I kind of branched out and got other people to begin playing games with, I realized I can't explain anything to anybody. If the game's rule book is more than 4 or 5 pages long, I don't have the patience to do it. Then the Game of Thrones came out, and it's a 40-page rule book with an appendix, and I sat down and taught 7 people and like, listen, I have this hour-long presentation I need to give, and you did read the material I sent to you, and did you watch the video? And let me just give me 45 minutes, and we'll go over this, and then we're going to play this for 8 hours. And when I pulled that off, it was like I got hooked on that. And now every rule book is, oh, that's fine. I can read that in my off days. And don't worry about it. I'll teach it. And there's something about that. And I don't know how that progresses. And some people don't progress very fast with that, or they don't go past their certain comfort point, because there's some people that just, they're party gamers.
We are missing an archetype. We need the teacher.
The teacher.
The teacher.
I think that I love teaching games, even though I'm average at best at it, but I think it's for selfish reasons.
God forbid you ask a follow-up question or something that you accidentally, forgot to listen to.
To me, when I teach a game, there is nothing more gratifying to me when people play it. I always lose every game I teach the first time. If I'm teaching a game to a group, I'm going to lose it because I'm more invested in pointing out what you're doing and trying to make sure you're doing it right, that I'm not paying attention to anything that I'm doing. And if I explain a game and everybody plays it and they've had a great time and they got all the rules, I'm fine. If somebody goes, well, what about this? It's almost like a chef. Like they make a meal and then someone goes, well, you could have added this. Why didn't you put some lemon zest in it? I just want to freak out. I know that, and it's not, that shouldn't be the case, but I literally, every big game that I teach, I have to think ahead of time. This is complicated. People are going to forget this. This is fine. They can ask questions and talk myself off the ledge from lashing out at somebody when they go, when I tell them this is how you do this thing, and then they immediately forget it.
I haven't experienced that a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
When you throw out,
because you don't pay attention.
50 ingredients at once and I forget an ingredient, I'm sorry. Okay, so anyway.
Accept your apology.
It's fine. I think it's fine to forget it. It's when somebody blames you for not telling them. I never blame Jerry. If they want to accuse
That's
you.
true.
You know, maybe they've been collecting all blue bits, and they're going to score huge on blue bits.
But blue bits don't
And then the
score.
game is wrapping up, and it turns out you score your second most populous item of bits. I don't know if that's the right
Yeah,
use.
no, that's a good one.
Populous, but you get what I'm saying.
I'm writing
And
this all down.
And they want to blame. Why didn't you tell me?
That's a Reiner
emphasize
Knizia
that.
rule right there. The second most.
We have
Uh,
a friend that does that on every game.
Bubba?
That I have to literally think about it every time we play with him. That if he loses, as we're putting the game away, he'll go, "Well, I didn't know that this," and it caused that. I have to think ahead, not to lash out about that, because it's like a thing, and that gets me.
So, did you say what game? What was your first game? Like your gateway?
I don't remember what you talking about when I went to that game night.
Yeah, like whatever the games you played, or one of the first games.
The Skull.
One of them was Skull.
Oh yeah, that's a good game. See, Jerry apparently heard it and I didn't.
Favorite drinking game.
The Skull is an amazing game. It's an amazing.
Originally was
game.
a drinking game.
Was it? It's a head trip, that's for sure.
Well, I mean,
It was
it's
made
played
on
on
coasters.
coasters. So
Yeah, it makes
therefore,
sense.
just set your beer down on the coaster and make a bet on it. Is what I say.
One
So,
of you
Michelle-
guys was describing it as the I know that you know that I know that you know.
Exactly.
But you don't really know. Michelle, we need to know your favorite game, or actually your top 5 if you have that ready. Let's do that.
So
if you
I
could
pulled
list something.
up my pub meeple that I did. Now, granted, I did this a while ago because it takes a little bit of time to do your whole collection. So I did this maybe 6 months ago. My top 5. I'll start with number 5. Number 5, Codenames.
Oh my goodness. When this game first came out, I was a big fan of Vlado Chvátil and Portal games and Czech games and all that mess. So any games that came from that region I had. And people,
The
this was
region
one of
of
the few games that
Czechoslovakia.
the Czechoslovakians. Yes,
I'm
Czech
really
games.
into Czech games. That region
And
of
I'm half Czech, by the way.
Eastern-
So I got I think
Eastern
I must
Europe.
be
I'm really
related.
into.
I've been to Czech. It's
I
nice. I didn't
love
mean to go there. I
Eastern
went there by
European
accident.
games.
I fell in. I crossed the river that from Poland to there and didn't realize that I had invaded their country. Anyways, that was one of the few games I took to my office as like a team building exercise, and everybody always heard me.
99?
Everybody always saw me reading rule books of weird games that had like German type names or something like that, like what was it, Hansa Teutonica or whatever.
It's the one I was thinking. Oh my god.
Yes, Hansa Teutonica. And so one of my coworkers came in and looked at that game and could not process that this was an English name. And she says, "Oh, what's this? Codenames?" And to this day, that game is not Codenames to me. It's Codenames. And we played that at lunch at work, I think every day for quite some time. I love that game. It deserves all the praise that it gets.
It's brilliant. So that's number 5. Number 4, closely related but slightly different. I'm having a reaction now to seeing my top 5 from a little while ago. I got to do this again. But Decrypto. Y'all know Decrypto?
Mhm. We played
Yes, we had Decrypto
many moons ago.
many moons ago, and I ruined that game for Gabi and for our friends. That was my fault. Gabi busted it out and taught it. And I was tired and or drinking and couldn't understand quite what I was doing, and I ruined that game. And so Gabi's ill will towards that game is my fault, and I firmly believe I ruined that game for our group.
Yeah, it was.
That's, yes,
It's
Is
a
that true,
solid.
Bobby?
It's a solid game. It was a solid game, but we played it once or twice, and then Jerry ruined it, and I was like, I'm selling it.
yes,
'Cause
that's
here,
my fault.
The problem
That's a
is,
sad
It's a
story
good
for you.
game. It's a good
it's
game.
a solid game, but since Jerry basically is my game group, him and Enrique, it's like if Jerry doesn't like it, the other, like when I mentioned trying to play games with other folks in your life that aren't gamers, but you enjoy games so much, and it's like, conversation's a little slow. Let's play a game. Decrypto's definitely not. That
No.
one's too complicated for my friend group.
It's way too thinky. It's even Codenames is, I've got one friend, oh gosh, she might listen to this, but I've told her actually, she cannot do the subtle communication.
Mhm.
The word could be grass, and you could be like, okay, we want them to guess grass, but we've got to be subtle about it. Her clue is going to be like green or blade or just something. She can't do it. So and that's okay. That's
Hey,
fine.
the way a game that is, and this is tangential to this, but it's a game. Give me a second. Oh my goodness, why am I blanking on it? I know it's a game. What's it called? It's the game with all the weird. It's got all the weird pictures. I'm looking at my shelf, and my kids love it. Everybody loves it. No, hang on a second. Why can't I see it?
Dixit.
Dixit. I'm sorry, Dixit. Dixit is, me and my wife are awesome at Dixit because you have to think on that, see the picture and say a word that describes that. Yeah, that's a great game.
I tried.
Mysterium? Do you guys also like Mysterium?
Well, is that the one that's more like Hong Kong Blackout? Isn't Mysterium related to Hong Kong? Not Hong Kong Blackout. Murder in Hong Kong. I thought Mysterium like had the similar. That's the ghost one, and Murder in Hong Kong is the big party game, and they like it was like a spiritual successor. I always heard, but I played that
Deception. Murder in Hong Kong.
Yeah,
is a great game that's very similar along that lines because you have somebody who's a murderer. Everybody's got like these clue-based objects, and you have one person who can't talk trying to give clues, but the game is perfect because they don't have to think up the words. They're given cards, and they just has a list of words, and they have to pick the best out of them. So it helps those players that are handicapped by trying to think of a word that way. Anyways, what's your number 3?
Number 3, Castles of Burgundy.
Oh my goodness, that's a good one.
Special edition. So the first time I played Castles of Burgundy, it was the special edition, and then within a couple of weeks of that, I was at a different place, and somebody said, "Oh, you want to play Castles of Burgundy?" I said, "Absolutely." They get out the box, and it was the regular edition, and that was when I found out. I would have thought, I don't care about whether we're using a little bit to represent a castle. It doesn't make any difference to me. I don't care if it's a little ugly cardboard drawing versus a beautiful mini. I don't care. I found out I do care. Really impacted my feeling of the game. And I found out we were playing it wrong, the person who taught it to me. We just weren't doing the turn order correctly. You know, the turn order in Castle of Burgundy, I redo all the little castles. Anyway, that's my number 3. I love that game. I don't play it enough.
Castles of Burgundy Lame Edition is what you call that version. Have you played the card game?
I have. It didn't take.
Oh, it's a good solo.
You love it?
Solo. I love it as a solo game.
Okay.
But
I didn't play it as a solo game.
Even as tiny as those cards are, even as a solo game, it still takes up the whole table. It's insane.
Stefan Feld still, he's a great designer.
He's okay.
Still a great designer.
He's okay.
Well, my number 2 is Civolution.
Have not played that one.
Is that the new one I'm thinking of?
I hear it's like pretty complicated, right?
Not for you all, but yes. Yes, it's pretty complicated. There's something like 27 or 28 actions you can take on your turn, but you need dice, of course. You need dice. So you roll. I don't want to get into rules explanation now, but you roll your 5 or 6 or 7 dice, and then those are you're going to use those to determine which actions you can take. But there's all kinds of mitigating things. You can get things to adjust the dice, et cetera, just like Castles of Burgundy. And when I did this, I suspect Civolution was sort of new into my life, and I was very excited about it. So that I still really love it. Now I want to play it. It's been a minute.
To look it up. For some reason, it's the. When was Civolution? When was it? When was it released? It's
in the last couple of years.
In the last year, last year or two. You are in Civolution.
No brief.
You are a student creating I'm going to get this all wrong. It's something like you're creating a people or something. You're designing.
You're God.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly it. You're God. And you've got to pick all the different traits or something that to create the most ideal race or something.
Jerry would like that, wouldn't you, Jerry?
Thank you.
Also,
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm not talking about like your leanings or nothing.
What? I have all my hyper autistic race of superheroes.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is Stefan Feld. Yeah.
Oh, where's
Yes,
he
it
from?
is.
Stefan Feld?
Question.
Yeah.
He's
Stefan.
I think he's
Stefan.
French.
I was gonna say
Hang on a
like
second.
I was gonna say, what is those countries? The three of them, they're all together. Is like Finland and the other
Netherlands.
two. That's right, the
Sweden.
Netherlands. I was thinking. I don't know where I got that from.
That might be right.
The name Stefan just makes me think of that.
He lives in Germany.
Oh,
Germany, of
shocker.
course. Of course.
Creating the superior race, I see,
Dumb. You
Stefan.
guys.
He was born in Germany.
Say, I don't know that I should play that game. I wouldn't exist.
Thank you, Gabi.
Whoa.
Thank you very much.
Michelle's now uncomfortable.
Neither would I.
I'm sorry, Michelle. So,
I said it was half. I'm half Czech, but I'm half Nicaraguan, right? So
oh, okay. You're
I'm a-
half Czech. I didn't hear that part.
it was when we were talking about Codenames. I forgot how to.
Ah, okay.
Codenames.
There you go. Codenames.
Codenames.
And that was
I
your
love
number
it.
2?
That was my number 2. Can you guess my number 1? I feel like you could get. I feel like you could.
If you keep going, Stefan Feld. You're.
No, I'll give you a hint. It's not Stefan
Okay.
Feld. But there is.
Oh.
Okay, you're gonna cut this out if you need to. But there is a racist element.
Is it Endeavor?
It better not be Catan.
There's a connection. It's not Catan. Thank God. I don't know. Catan didn't take for me either.
It's not Endeavor?
So the civilization games and the German side of it, it's making me think it's going to be like Agricola or something like that. No?
No.
Secret
I've never
Hitler?
played Agricola. I do like Caverna. I'll tell you. I'll end this torture. It is Terraforming Mars.
Oh my goodness. I almost said it better not. Those Terraforming Mars. I fixed it. And if you play it the way that I have got it fixed, it's a great game. And all that you have to do is take the cards and sort them a certain way and in like 3 different stacks. So, you know, this level of card is here, this level of card is there, and so forth. Because the most annoying thing about Terraforming Mars is that you'll get cards that you either have to hold on to forever to use and you might not use them, or you just have to sell it. That's the most frustrating thing. And what got me about it is that Underwater Cities kind of corrects all the little flaws with Terraforming Mars.
Have you played
But
that?
I have played Terraforming Mars is probably one of my most played games digitally. I have played a lot of the digital version of it because there is something. The thing that people love about Terraforming Mars is that gameplay loop that's there. That I have cards. Oh, it doesn't seem like we're going to do this. Oh, it's not getting any better. Oh, it's not getting any better. And all of a sudden, it just runs up this track and you go, aha. I have played Terraforming Mars, the solo part of it, so much. And it's obsessive, but I just cannot stand playing that game with people. Solo it all day long. Can't play it with people.
Have you played Underwater Cities, Michelle?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it, but I have not played it. So that's interesting that it's you see it as an improvement on Terraforming Mars.
We suggest
There's also a sentimental part of Terraforming Mars, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely that's part of it. But I haven't delved too much into it, but I've seen some chatter about the designers and some of their political beliefs. But I kind of don't want to know. I'm kind
Of which game?
and that's what I was
don't-
alluding to.
Don't talk about. I mean, for instance, I have several. I think it's IO or Ion games. It's from the creator who did. Is it High Frontier? It's the space game. It was the company that's owned by this guy who was a legit rocket scientist, and I believe at some point in time, I think Cole Wehrle even worked with him. And back in the day when we first started the podcast, I had sent him an email about some of his games that I wanted to play. And he actually sent me a couple. I believe it was Greenland and PAX Transhumanity. He did a lot of PAX games. They are small box games that are incredibly complicated. And I had no idea regarding his he apparently was quite problematic in the board game community at the time because of his political beliefs or things that he said. That there was something going on at the time.
Sounds
But I
familiar. I
remember-
might have read a little bit about this guy.
There's always something going on, and I just before we had a website at the time, and I fancied myself to be a writer, and I did written reviews of board games before I realized that I'm terrible at writing, and I shouldn't write. Yeah, until I had another reviewer pointed that out to me and be like, I don't know if this is this is not the time to be reviewing this guy's games. And I'm like, why not? It's like, don't do that.
It's hard to keep up on all the news on everybody that's offending everybody that have terrible viewpoints, because it really is hard to keep up.
As somebody who has terrible viewpoints and offends everybody, I just do the podcast, and Gabi just cuts out all the terrible things that I say.
It's a beautiful thing right there.
It works great.
I could.
This is why I love
editing
him.
has saved many a career, is all I'm going to say. So, Michelle,
it's all in fun.
What about? We just like to have fun here. Let's see. So I said we might ask you about your personal life. Is there anything you would like to share? Like, I mean, are you a family woman? Are you single? I mean, do you want to go into any of that?
You've got drums behind you.
Just to get to know you personally.
They're not my drums. They are not my drums. So my guy is a drummer.
Okay.
He's in a couple of bands.
What band? Oh my goodness, he's in a band?
He's not. They're not,
He's an artist. Are you supporting him financially?
That's his weekend thing. He is not a drummer by trade. He's an accountant by trade.
Okay.
Who semi-reluctantly plays board games. When I met him, he owned Agricola. But this was before I went down the rabbit hole.
No wonder he doesn't like board games.
And so he will play, and definitely once a month for sure. He has to, and he will. And other times he'll play, but he's like, I've just played my third or fourth game of TI this past weekend. And I've been trying to get him to think about it, and no way, no how. But I might be done with TI. Speaking of impatience, I just, toward the end, hour 11, 12.
Good.
Yep.
I start having a really hard time caring. And when people start delaying their turn, stalling.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I don't care this much. It's been going on. I like the game. I really do. And I played, what was the other one? The TI like game, New Dawn for the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Twilight for the Galaxy.
Eclipse.
Yeah.
Eclipse. I did play that. And I'm like, okay, this I can maybe.
I love Eclipse. I think I'm on
Did you get
record
second
somewhere.
Dawn?
Yeah, we got
this is one of the few games for which I sold the first edition and bought the second. So I have the second
you were
Dawn.
Do that in something. Yeah,
I did it. I as those words left my mouth, Ryan Maxwell was at a convention with us, a listener, and he's like, "I'm pretty sure I can find that." And he got online and found it, and it was I immediately sold my copy and bought it. I think I'm quoted somewhere saying that Eclipse is probably one of the best designed board games ever, if not the best, simply because of that. I have taught that game to people that I should not have tried to teach it to, that were not ready to play such a complicated game, by simply going, listen, all you're going to do is take this little marker here and move it. That's all you're going to do. And then wherever you place it, you're just going to do that action. So whatever you want to do, just take your little marker and put it over here, and then tell me what you're going to do, and I'll walk you through it. And played an entire 4-player game of that and loved it. Absolutely loved that game. Yeah, TI4 is too long for what it gives you. There's too many other games out there. I do occasionally like playing.
In a future episode, Jerry has thoughts on Twilight Imperium versus Arcs, the relatively new game by Wehrle.
Played Arcs, and all of the available data would tell you that I'm going to enjoy that game, and it just, I don't know.
Well, it wasn't just.
I had no interest in playing it again.
Well, we did enjoy Arcs, but he played the campaign, and he says it changes so dramatically throughout that game that it's fascinating. But real quick,
didn't you say Arcs was like TI, just played in sessions?
It is. You can play it in one. You can play it in one round and long TI4 fashion, which is what I did. And I was not expecting it to be as enthralling and engaging as it was. And I think upon reflection, I believe I would play Arcs, the campaign, over a game of TI4. I just think the development of I like it when a designer takes a simple concept and then adds everything around that concept. And the first time I played Arcs, the guy that was teaching it just said, "You know how to play trick-taking games?" And I go, "Oh, I hate trick-taking games." He says, "Well, this is just like a trick-taking game." And as soon as he explained it, I was like, "Oh, this is a trick-taking game. I'm going to hate this." And I played it and like, "Oh, I love this. I like this. I see where you have to constantly be on your guard." I enjoyed it so much, but I don't do campaign games. And I thought that the expansion of it was just multiple campaigns. It's just three games in a row, basically. It is the term arc is that it's a character arc. Your civilization changes and progresses. And I found that to be so fascinating.
I do need to play it again because it was probably maybe around the 1 year mark. And I don't know. I think it's been a minute, so I should probably play it again and see how it goes.
So
it solidified Cole Wehrle to me as being the most innovative designer of our age right now.
Yeah, his Root stuff is just. I just played Root a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Did I win? I think I might have won.
Probably.
Played as the moles.
We'll just say you did.
The moles.
Let's, I want to merge us into Moon Colony Bloodbath, because that is one that I mentioned that I saw that you had played.
Before we forget, what type of band is your accountant man in?
In 2 bands. One of them is a punk, ska, reggae
I knew it.
cover band.
Of course.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Punk?
Ska, reggae.
Punk, ska, reggae.
Okay.
So he's definitely
it's
white.
Cover band. Oh, definitely.
You mentioned accountant. He plays the drum and he's in the band. And I pictured him. If I could almost describe him to a
T.
What
he looks like.
Just name an actor that looks like him, Jerry.
No.
Is it Ed from The Office?
Ed?
His real name's Ed. I forget it was the guy that came
Ed
in.
Helms.
Ed Helms, yeah. Or Jim Halpert. That's maybe a Jim Halpert
if
type.
Ed didn't have such a robust head of hair.
Yes, this guy's obviously this guy.
Okay.
Listen, Gabi, if you know drummers, there's only 2 types of drummers. There's the tatted out rock star type, and then there's the I'm balding, and my proprioceptive system is now being able to be utilized, and I'm getting all my anger and frustration out on these drums and the rhythm and everything. Yes, there's those types.
Well, at least he's got rhythm, so that's a good thing. Not many white men have rhythm. Okay,
that's a unicorn there. You hold on to him.
So before we get into Moon Colony, I wanted to ask, what got you in? Was there anything if you want to answer, is there anything in particular that got you into therapy?
Well, I'll give you my usual answer, which is I've always been fascinated by people, which is true. That's true. I've always been fascinated. People are a trip. I just find people fascinating. I have a day job. I'm mostly an administrator now in healthcare, and then I still have a small private practice because I just miss the direct service part of my field. So just the simple answer is people. I find people fascinating. They never cease to amaze me in terms of how they see things or think. And I'm really fascinated by the intersection of board games and psychology. Just in terms of the things I get to observe during playing board games and the different personalities and like archetypes and what I've noticed in myself. And sometimes I get activated. I can Root. I've gotten upset during a game of Root before in a way that surprised me. Like, this is personal. What are you doing to me? And then layered on top of that, to add a little bit more truth to it, is I had an incredibly complicated upbringing. Lots of stuff. And so I think that it was also this desire to try to understand what this experience of being human was and how was I going to be a human after everything that's happened.
I think that's most counselors or psychologists, psychiatrists, all of them, is that nobody nobody whose car is running perfectly it becomes a mechanic. It's like everybody who delves into the psychology type, that field, not only are they doing it not only for personal reasons, but they've had some sort of interest that it seems like that they're wanting to explore and find out, and then they just go down that path, and then it becomes a profession. I did an internship at a state hospital at a mental health hospital once, and I remember before going there, they kind of warned us of like, hey, you have these misconceptions about people, and this is a good thing. It's going to change your mind. Like, you go in there thinking all these people are all crazy, and then this is when you go in there, you're going to leave a different person. And going in and experiencing the people who are obviously going through a very most of them just an acute episode of their life, and being in there and realizing, oh, these are just people that something bad happened at the right time in their life, that this is what it put them at. And it's like, it's very eye-opening as psychology. And unfortunately, I have very little interest in psychology, but Bubba, if you listen, I know, I have very little interest in psychology because I don't want to know. But Bubba, if you've listened to our podcast and you've heard Bubba is currently obsessed with psychology and is reading dozens of books, and he calls me every day and goes over, have you ever read this, and goes over about things, and I'm listening to most of it. But I'm one of those people where the fascinating aspects of the human mind, I have given up on trying to understand people.
I would buy that, but for the nemesis discussion that you all just had.
Well, that's different.
You are unpacking the nuance of how you successfully manipulate a group of people, not only during the game, but you were talking about the meta of manipulation of people from the first game you play with them, the very first move you make, Jerry. You were identifying this is the beginning of my manipulation.
Well, I may be a sociopath, or it could just be that I just enjoy. I will say I have a deep fascination in negotiation games.
Okay, maybe that's
I do enjoy any game for which I can just talk my way to victory, or be able to have somebody else make a move for me. I find that to be it's very interesting. And I don't know what dark part of my soul has been damaged.
Bengali? Who was the guy in Russia that could not
Yes, Rasputin.
Rasputin. Do you see yourself?
I am the Rasputin of board gaming.
There you go.
I think that the joy that I get from it must come from the fact that growing up, I didn't speak. I was practically mute until I was 10 years old. And then I had a stutter, and it was like a thing of, it took me a long time to get to where I felt comfortable even speaking to somebody, much less carrying on an intense conversation. And I poured so much effort into language and studying people and having to look, and even as God, people bring up how I can't hardly read the room. I put so much effort into realizing I'll never know what people are thinking. I'll never be able to figure out what they're feeling, but I can sure set the tone and make them feel the way I want them to feel, or go the direction I think we should be going. And so I think whenever I'm doing a negotiation game or any type of game that requires that type of interaction, it is just an affirmation of me of I have gotten somewhere, that I can sit here with all these people and they can all point to me and go, don't negotiate with Jerry. Jerry will get you. He'll backstab you. And I'll be like, me? And then 2.5 hours later, they're going, what happened? And I don't know. There is a deep-seated joy that only comes from negotiation games I know that, I don't know, that may not be healthy.
One of my favorite things.
Sick.
One of my favorite things to view just from a neutral standpoint is Jerry, who is the way he is, and Bubba, who loves to study people like Jerry, have them go at each other in a negotiation game, or really any game. That's we went to a board game convention. It was the last one we went to. It was like BGG Spring, whatever. And Bubba, I was telling Bubba if he's going to come, because Bubba's always he's this ephemeral character. It's like we never know if he's going to be there or not. And I was like, one thing I want to do is I want all of us to play a game, specifically a negotiation. I just want you and Jerry to go at it, because the pleasure I derive from seeing Jerry and Bubba just attack each other. And Bubba, like he said, his whole goal is not to win the game, is to just keep Jerry from winning the game. And it's enjoyable to watch.
I'm remembering this conversation, right?
So is there a game that scratches that psychological itch for you in any type of way?
Me?
Michelle? Yes.
Negotiating itch?
Well, no, just like as far as your field of psychology, therapy, is there anything that comes close to being close to that, or not so much? Or do you like to play games to get away from that?
I think it's more that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's more that. I'm always watching and observing and being curious. But if somebody does something that stands out, I might say, what is going on there? Something happened. What is it? But I think it is more, go back to the archetypes. Didn't I say something about somebody just there to kind of check out?
A vibe.
Yeah.
I'm not a cozy gamer. I wouldn't go that far.
Cozy gamer, that was one.
It's a little bit.
That's a term I hadn't become interested in until the last. I mean, it's like I hadn't heard of that until that coffee and cats game that I actually bought.
I don't know that one.
I don't like cozy.
It was like you're going out to buy books.
I don't understand cozy.
You go out and you buy books, and you basically are like shelving your books and reading your books.
Oh, a place for all my books?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I've heard of it. I haven't played it. I'm not a huge cozy board gamer either. I do like Coffee Rush, but Coffee Rush is weird because they call it a cozy game, but it's only because of the artwork. The game itself is very stressful.
Yeah.
You got to get these coffee orders out, and it's like turn 2 or 3, you're behind.
Yeah, you can't tell me what's cozy for me either. It's like that's not cozy for me.
I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that the game about putting stickers on the board is cozy Stickerville, which I'm I know everything I need to know. Not to judge those people that like those games. That's one thing I like.
No, you're
about
fine.
board games.
Judge
There's
away, Michelle. That's what we do here.
But I heard cozy Stickerville.
All right, so
there is nothing cozy about stickers.
Moon Colony
they peel back onto each other.
Moon Colony Bloodbath.
Moon Colony Bloodbath.
We played it. We discussed it briefly 30 minutes or so before this particular interview. And Jerry said he wasn't going to great detail until he played it with his children. Have you done that yet?
I have not. I've played like other games with my children.
And my opinion of
I have children.
What's your opinion of the game, Michelle?
I was very excited to play the game. It's been so hyped over the last 6 months or something. It's been on hot mists all the time. But I was trying, and I successfully did not purchase it because I'm trying not to do that. So I didn't purchase it. I was very excited. Finally, someone said, I got this. I'm going to play it. Yeah. I liked it. I did. I had a good time. I did find myself, I was struggling to be engaged. I was struggling. I just found myself like the guy that was teaching us, bless him, I might have been getting up to get a snack and getting up to get some water. And I mean, I didn't do that during the teach. I stayed for the teach. But then I just noticed myself feeling a little antsy while we were playing it. And that's usually kind of a sign of like, I won the first one we played, surprisingly. I thought, and maybe I did get up during the teach for a minute, I thought that it was going to be a last man standing. I didn't realize that somebody dies and then it's whoever's in the best position.
Yep.
So somebody died and then turned out I was in the best position, which I did not see coming because for a while I was really struggling. And then I don't know what I did, so I love the art. I love the idea of the game. I love all the groaning when the events come out. I like the feeling, to Jerry, the vibe of it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I kind of like that was fun. So I liked all that, but the game itself was just okay for me.
It's It's very, I was somewhat disappointed in it. I think it's going to be a better family game. Well, like something you play with your kids rather than hardcore gamers.
Murdering
There is
all
a
the
game
colonists.
that-
Play that with your children.
Well, that my kids are
They're
very
anti-colonists.
very,
They're anti-colonizers.
very anti-colonist.
They're
but there is a game
They're
that-
pro moon people.
They're pro Bloodbath. There is a game that gives me that similar feeling that has absolutely nothing to do with the moon or a colony or a bloodbath. That is one of my favorite games that right after I had played Moon Colony, I played this game. It's called Ponzi Scheme. I had the privilege of playing Ponzi Scheme with two people who are basically accountants. And it does exactly what you think it is. You're taking money, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and then having this little wheel that's the interest rate that's going to come back. And then when it hits this marker, you have to pay this money back. And it is the most interesting trading mechanic I've ever seen, where you're just putting fake paper money, which I hate paper money, into this little wallet and handing it to the other player. They can look into it and take that money and give you the stock that they were going to hold on to, or they can match the money that's in there, give that back, and steal one of yours. It's amazing, but it has that same sense of dread because the first person that busts is out, and then everybody left over wins. But you're all dying. You're all crooks. You're all making these deals that you're not going to be, that you're just trying to hang on by the skin of your teeth. That's the feeling that I wanted from Moon Colony Bloodbath, and it wasn't there. I think Gobby won our game. I think I died in ours.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't like you said. I would play it again. I didn't hate it. I didn't care for it. I just felt like we were flipping over cards and we were reacting to them, and in the most efficient way possible. Which, I mean, that's a lot of board gaming, I guess, but it's not board gaming that is my preference. And the art we weren't fans of, but to each their own. It's subjective.
I like the art. I mean, the first time I saw the art, I was a little like, ugh, and then, looking at it again, and eventually I came around, and I like the art. But the game itself.
So you mentioned, like, with the Castles of Burgundy, you're like, the components kind of had a great effect on you in that regard, from like the whatever edition, the special edition versus the lame edition. In my opinion of what we have discussed previously, art, even though the art, I didn't like the art in Moon Colony, but all of that is secondary to me as far as in regards to the rules and mechanics of a game as far as it actually plays out. I believe that it can slightly enhance stuff, but does that have a great effect for you? Like, kind of like you mentioned with castles, like if the first time you were introduced to that, if you just played the lame edition, would it have grabbed you as much as it does the special edition or deluxe, whatever the edition's called?
I mean, that's hard to say, but I think so. But the components made a difference, and they made a difference in a way that I wouldn't have expected, because when I played the lame edition, I just found myself feeling a little bit like,
this is lame.
But if I didn't know, it's kind of like if you've never flown first class.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just kind of seen it walking by really quick. You don't know what you don't know, and how I got bumped up to first class a couple times because the plane was full, and then I was like, oh.
There you go. A fellow Seinfeldian, I guess.
Seinfeld.
That's a Seinfeld reference.
They have an episode about
once you go first class, you can't go back to coach.
Right.
That's what Jerry says.
Yeah. I mean, it does make coach just a little bit more painful than it ever was before.
So that's what we played in our play of Nemesis Retaliation. We have the retail version. It didn't, no special pieces, which some of the pieces are nice, even though, and even that edition comes with minis. But the guy we played,
Deluxe?
The guy we played with. Yeah, at the most recent conversation of it, he had the deluxe. I don't know if he deluxed it out or he bought some sort of deluxe edition, but everything was super fancy. Like the little pieces you put on your player board, and everything was just decked out. And to me, I knew I already liked the game. It actually didn't enhance it for me. I was just like, oh, this is a bigger, bulkier plastic piece version of the version we played with before. And sometimes,
well, you know what? You're reminding me that my original plays of Terraforming Mars were just the base game. And then I played a tricked out version, and I don't think it changed anything for me. So maybe the order of it matters.
maybe so.
I think it does.
Because like I think it was Orleans. We played Orleans several times at a BGG, and it's not one of Jerry's favorites, but I enjoy it. But it's a lot, and it's a lot of pieces. But I bought like all the deluxeified pieces, and Jerry, he's like, "Oh, these are too big." He complained that they were too fancy, too big and bulky, and
They no,
He doesn't like
no.
the game.
No,
that's
He doesn't
correct.
like
That's
they
correct.
did not meet. So there's spots on the board where you're supposed to put the little chits, and the pieces that you bought that were deluxeified didn't sit there correctly. It completely.
Talking about when you stack them up in the
when you put them on like on the map. It had the same problem where they've deluxeified something and now it doesn't match the board. It doesn't fit appropriately where it's supposed to be. Like it's supposed to cover up the spot. Well, it doesn't cover up the spot. It doesn't draw your eyes. Arcs does the same thing with its deluxeified version. Unfortunately, it has the regular retail version has wooden pieces. So like the little ships are wooden. When they're damaged, you just tip them over on your side. You buy the deluxeified version, it has these little minis that don't tip over all the way on their side, or they tip over too easily so you can't tell. That drives me insane. And Gabi is going on about how he doesn't like deluxeified stuff. The man has metal coins for every game that he owns.
That's not what I said. I didn't say I don't like deluxeified.
Hypocrite.
The game
Not
hypocrite.
It must do something.
Not once did I say those words. So I do enjoy metal coins, but if a game is a quality game, it's not going to make a difference. However, I can see the whole, once you went first class, like if you played a game, it's like, oh, it's a great game and the pieces blew you away. Then you play like this generic cardboard version of it, with paper plates. It's like, it's not it would be like playing Skull, but instead of having the nice coasters with all the fancy designs, here, I just cut out some paper plates and painted some water colors on it, and here you go.
Put some shapes on it. You're the triangles, and you're the squares, and you're the circles.
It would accomplish what we want to accomplish, but is it as nice? No, it's not quite as nice.
And I never would have thought I cared. I would have told you it doesn't make a difference to me. I think the thing is, I fancy myself a much more rational person than I actually am. And board gaming over these last few years has really helped me to see I am a lot less rational than I like to think that I am. And maybe it's just in part of my life I am very rational. I don't know. But in board games, I like the vibe. And I will do the thing, I'm like you, Gabi, I will do the thing that feels fun, that feels right, that my gut is saying, go over there, go explore the South. Nothing.
When you know it's going to kill you.
Happen.
So
exactly.
How many?
It's not going to make me.
Which is odd because board games done nothing but to reveal that I'm only more rational than what I thought I was. I do have a game recommendation. Gabi, do you have something?
No. This is for
you got your notebook.
Well,
out.
I'm just. This is for end of podcast. So if you're ready to go, keep going.
Okay, I had a game for some reason when you were talking about game. Do you play co-op games?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not a big fan of co-ops, but there was one game that I played. It's a 2018 game called Holding On: The Troubled Life of Billy Kerr.
I may have read about this. Did you guys
This
ever
was
talk
a
about
game.
this?
A long time ago, because when it came out in 2018, it was all the hotness. It was, I can't remember who the designer was at the time or who the publisher was, but it's basically about a man. It's about a man on hospice, if I'm not mistaken, and there's like a psychological element to it where you're trying to. You see, the tagline was, "Your patient has a story to tell. Can you keep him alive long enough to listen?" And it was a co-op game where two people are playing and trying to keep this one individual alive. It's still out there. I'm checking to see if it's still available. Yeah, it's not out of print. You can still find it. But it was very interesting, and it was one of those. There were several games like that from like 2018 to like 2020, where there was a lot of psychological, meaningful games. Like, there was the one that was like the couples game that was like the love life
Fog of
game.
Love.
Fog of Love. I played that with
Cannot
Enrique.
bring myself to play that. I just like, ugh.
That was all the rage at a convention, and me and Enrique played like one round of it and laughed our heads off about it, and we stopped it. But yeah, it was one of those games that it's like, I don't know what they're going for, but every once in a while they'll go on this. Designers and companies will go on this thing of like trying to spoon feed everybody this type of game, and some
They
of them
want
are
you to have an
hits.
emotional experience or something.
Yeah, I have only. I'm trying to think if there was a game that I got that I felt. There's been several that I've played that that purports to be emotional, like supposed to make you feel something, and I can't think of any besides the rage and teaching them. I've not had that, but then again, I have a lack of imagination. Like I can't even hardly read a book and get emotional about it unless I'm really, really into it. But yeah, they're trying. Gabi, go ahead. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
No,
there,
you're good. You're good. I was just, we're getting on it here and late in the evening for us Central Standard timers. Also, if you want on the podcast, do like Michelle. Emails are the thing. We have different social networks. Our Discord is lit. It's a fantastic Discord, a very loving Discord. So feel free to join that. But the real way that send us an email. Just send us an email because that
and be interesting.
And
be interesting.
Don't send any emails. You don't want to be on the podcast. You have the guests that you need. Anytime you guys are, you know what we need? We need a guest. We're getting a little stale. We need to hear from an outside perspective.
Yeah, we do need an outside perspective every now and then.
Voice would be nice.
That would be nice.
I want you to think, Michelle. We want to have Michelle.
There we go.
Have her
there we
back.
see. As everybody knows, I'm a big proponent of women. I love women.
We know that. I gotta go let my cat out.
The gender equality situation here is really out of whack, and I think you need to have,
I've been saying that for a long time. We have our producer Tina, whose home that we typically record in. That's Enrique's sister. She's great. She's a big fan. We used to have Paige, which was Gabi's stepdaughter, who she recently moved to upstate New York. She moved and now Gabi's an empty nester. I can say this now since he's gotten up to left. I can't talk about it because he'll burst out in tears because he's emotionally unstable.
I had to go let my cat out.
Oh,
He's
dear.
just crying at me. So
go ahead. We weren't talking about you.
Please rate, review. Don't forget that. Rate. It's been a while since we've had a review on our Apple or anything. Just comment like Michelle did on whatever outlet you're listening on. Rate and review. I'm out of breath from walking to the door. I'm fat. Michelle.
Yes, sir.
If you were to die tomorrow and you were hungry today, what would be your last meal?
That's a tough one. Oh, man. You asked some hard questions. I mean, I'll tell you what just jumped into my brain without any thought was fried chicken.
Excellent.
I just ate fried chicken.
It's an excellent choice.
The thing about fried chicken is it's so often disappointing.
Indeed.
The fried chicken I have in my mind is so perfect that the fried chicken I get is, it's just, I don't
LA,
know. But
you're in LA. California don't know how to make fried chicken. That's the problem.
Do they have chickens there?
We do have chickens. They're free range, but
of course,
that's probably part of the issue.
You got to cage some rascals up and stuff steroids in them for them to be tasty, and then deep fry it.
I like Popeyes. I mean, I'm not kidding. I've been to some nicer places or, Southern or whatever. And I'm like, this Popeyes chicken is pretty damn good.
It's good.
Popeyes in the South is like the Waffle House of chicken places. You don't go in there unless you're ready to fight.
This was another one.
Well,
no, you're good. Someone asked this the other day and I was like, that's an interesting question. And of course, it's kind of hard to ambush it on somebody because I had time to think about mine. If you were to die tomorrow, what song would you listen to right before you died?
Oh, what is that song? Oh, God, I already have the answer, but I need to think of it, and I'm terrible at stuff like this. I think it might be like he's in a spaceship, and he's talking to the
Ground
computer.
control to Major Tom.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Let me just look real. I'm pretty
Ground
sure
Yes,
that's
that's
it.
Major Tom.
He's dying in the song, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's
Interesting.
I hope that if I have any amount of control over my passing, if it's happening in such a way that I have some consciousness and some choice, that's what I want to be listening to. As I'm just going to go with it because I love it so much.
Set the mood. Set the mood for your
it's beautiful.
Your ultimate demise.
I will just be like, yes, I'm here for it. I go back and forth, at 55, I'm like, I see it on the horizon, the end is, I got a sense of it now. And I'm like, do I want to just, I'll die in my sleep, as they say, or do I want some time and say some goodbyes and get my house in order?
Take some people with you, have that list of, all right, you got a few people that's wronged you. Get the old Liam Neeson action film. And don't play that Ground Control to Major Tom on Spotify, because what will end up happening is just before you die, you'll advance, and then you'll end up getting William Shatner and his rendition of Rocket Man, which is not bad.
Oh, really? Okay.
I highly recommend it.
If you enjoy
the
spoken
music
word
video of William Shatner singing Rocket Man is hilarious.
And he was a rocket man eventually, is what makes it beautiful. Jeff Bezos made that come true for him. Jerry, do you have a song before your death?
No, you know how I feel about music.
It doesn't move you.
No, it moves me. It's just that I tend to associate music with a place or something previous. So like I like one of my favorite songs of all time got ruined back 20 years ago now, working as a paramedic, because it happened to be the song on a radio that was playing in the background of a very traumatic event that had taken place. And it completely, just today, as I was driving, just punching through music, that came on. I was like, yep, I remember that. That's yeah. And so it's like, yeah, music to me is associated with an event or a thing. I get on a plane, I think of Weezer. I don't know why, because I listened to Weezer flying to New Jersey one time. And so now that's there's just that. So since I haven't quite experienced death, I don't think I have a song for that. I hope it's something good, though.
Well, that's why
Enya.
I like, Enya's good. I
can't believe you're even talking about Enya. I mean, be careful.
I like, not, what do they call it? It's not the musical score of movies. I don't like I do like,
you like the non-spoken, you like the instrumental.
They call those something in the film industry, the needle drops. Yeah, the needle drops are cool. What's his face? Gunn does that pretty well in his movies. But I actually like the musical score. And one of my favorite all-time musical scores is Adagio in D minor by John Murphy to the film Sunshine. It is a beautiful piece of music. Makes you feel all types of ways. Hopeful, sad. It's just a brilliant piece of music. And I was like, you know what? That's the one I want. I want to hear that on the way out, and I'll just advance towards that big bright light or that bright burning flame, whichever it may be.
This is a really happy note in which we are wrapping up my appearance. I'm not sure how to take this, frankly.
Well,
I'm going to take it well.
I like how he said, these are my notes for the end of the podcast.
Let's talk about death. That's
You're
how I like to
about
end it.
To die.
End of podcast.
Tomorrow, end of your existence.
End of podcast.
You have your will.
End of life. I'm the Jeff Kevorkian of podcasters. What can I say? Is it Jeff? I just pulled Jeff out of nowhere. Is it Jeff Kevorkian?
No, it wasn't.
No.
But
Ed?
All Jeffs.
It's Ed Kevorkian?
Yeah.
Why did I say
all
Jeff?
Jeffs are bad. I know not one
Jerry,
good Jeff.
I'm glad you said you feel something with music. Otherwise, I would have been a little worried about you.
Jack Kevorkian.
Jack Kevorkian. That's right.
He died in 2011.
My third favorite Jack.
I just got now. I hope you cut this out, but I just got the other day. I was thinking about death, and I was like, it occurred to me that I might be ready to go, and I might not go, and that gave me a little bit of fear. I was like, oh, I hadn't thought about that before. What if I'm,
Miserable.
whatever, and
So I work in hospice, and that is a phenomenon, not a phenomenon, but a very frustrating situation that I have seen many people, and it's typically women who have lost their spouse, and they're done. And it is, and I'd expect nothing less, Gobby. But it is a thing of whatever their main purpose in life that they feel like they have done for the past 40, 50 years, to them, the passing of their mate, they're done, and they just want to move along. And it's very heartbreaking to see, because most of them will live for 10, 15, 20 years after that fact. But they have very much checked out. And one that one that sticks in my mind was a lady that had lost her husband about a decade prior or 15 years prior. And from that day on, she has just, her life was just waiting. She was just done. And that is
What if they found him?
No, he was dead.
he wasn't lost.
It's time to do jokes.
See, this is what I have to deal with, Michelle. Whatever you think of here, whenever there's something serious and Gobby cannot handle it,
Mhm.
that thing, I don't know what makes people. I can't associate anything with that. I can't empathize with that, because it's a thing of like, I understand being so distressed, but at some point in time, isn't there something else besides just this other person? But to them, that's it.
Yeah,
It's
I
that
don't think I'm
Notebook
ever going to
syndrome.
find myself there. I'm gonna move on to something, and I got board games, so I think as
Yeah, I
long as
know.
I can think.
Yeah.
This was more like if I have some kind of illness or something, and I'm ready to be done, and I have to just carry on. Like, I think I might have been thinking like dementia or something. That's got to be the scariest, something like
Yeah.
that. But this is a little dark and depressing, and as I said, I've got to come back at some point, so I got to keep it a little lighter here.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
So what you were describing, Jerry, I just recently had looked at earlier this week, or perhaps, I don't know exactly, but psychogenic death, which is basically when you ever seen Where the Red Fern Grows?
Yeah, the dogs.
And the one dog fights off the mountain lion, and the other dog is so sad it just dies. Or
It's like the Notebook.
The
guy just
Notebook.
gets in bed.
Exactly, the Notebook. It's basically.
I literally said Notebooks 5 seconds ago.
It's
It's probably what's on your mind.
Well, whatever. And it's just that's the whole thing. It's like there's no reason for them to die other than like they have what they need to live. It's just
This is like failure to thrive. This is it's that
or Padme died of psychogenic death because Darth Vader.
I was reading about animals. Do animals ever intentionally end their own lives? And it was when I was doing all this thinking about, like, I wonder if in the animal world, if animals ever decide, oh, I'm dying. I'm not coming back from this. I'm in extreme discomfort. I'm going to jump off this cliff or whatever. And there's no evidence of that, but they can, psychogenic death. They can stop eating or something like that.
Yeah.
There are cases of that happening in the animal kingdom, universe.
Yeah.
World.
If I was to die, Rio would stop eating and kill himself, basically, because my cat, I'm my whole universe to my cat. Just saying. Yeah.
I can assure you that out of all the animals that would psychogenic itself to death, the cat is the very last one.
Rio loves
your
me.
cat does not cats.
No, he does.
First off,
you don't know. You don't know. You're judging my cat, and you don't know my cat. You're stereotyping. What you're doing is racist.
I
I'm just
feel like
saying,
we're
it's-
getting into sensitive territory, Jerry. You can keep going, but I'm just going to give you a warning. I feel it.
I say,
heard
and
it
that's
in the
good.
tone in
Thank you,
Gabi's
Michelle.
voice,
Thank you,
and I'm
Michelle.
just giving you a warning.
And that's a good
Tread
place
lightly.
to. You know what? Let's end it there, Michelle.
he anthropomorphizes
Thank you
the
to your
feelings
of
this cat.
interference.
And his
Going.
cat is
Oh.
awful.
We'll be able to
Just-
continue
yeah,
the show before he
up a big
continues to
warning.
insult my cat, which is my livelihood and I live for. So we'll end it there.
Who would leave you in
Thank
a heartbeat?
you, Michelle, for coming on to the show.
What?
We
Just
appreciate.
Thank you, Gabi, so much. Thank you, guys. This has been such a delight. I'm sorry about my microphone.
No,
If they ever come back,
it's
I'll
fine.
have it fixed.
It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine.
Thank you.
And
Tell your man to send us some music. We need some music from his
the other
band.
band he's in is, what do they call it? They call it Garage Americana. And that band, they're doing some originals. So that's a little bit more interesting. It's kind of like, what's his name? Not Waylon Jennings. The other guy. I'm not going to remember.
Merle Haggard.
That's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. They're
My
doing
life.
that. They're in that kind of genre of music. I really like it a lot. It's really, really good.
My wife
It's-
loves Merle Haggard.
Yeah, that's some good music. I'm very eclectic. I'm not one of those. I mean, I don't really like, what do you call it? Like metal, the grinding, stuff. But anyway, I'm sure you guys are ready to go to bed. so-
Merle Haggard's best song is with Willie Nelson about Pancho Villa.
Seven Fallen. What about the seven? What's the one with the seven angels? The
Seven Spanish
That's it.
Angels.
That's
the
it.
one with Ray
Beautiful.
Charles.
That's Pancho and Lefty.
God, I might.
That's what I'm talking
that
about.
would be, those are two beautiful songs. Yeah, I love.
Gabi, if you
I
were
love-
bold, you would go ahead and break copyright and have that song.
Oh, I will.
As our
I'm gonna
outro.
play it right here. If I could find the lyrics, I'd start singing it fast enough. But
It's Seven Spanish Angels. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, it's a fantastic.
Something like
It's
that.
at the altar of the gun.
Well,
That's
the
it.
Seven Spanish
Yeah.
Angels. It might be. That's a different song. I'm thinking of Pancho and Lefty specifically, which is it's about Pancho
That's a
Villa.
beautiful one too.
No,
I love-
no, this one's with Ray Charles. It's Seven Spanish Angels. It's
No,
with
well,
Willie Nelson.
Well, I'm thinking of Merle Haggard and Willie Nelson specifically. So
I'm sorry, but Willie Nelson, Ray Charles. I that immediately went to that song.
okay, all right, and
Poncho and Lefty's a great one too.
that's
All
going
right,
to do
guys.
it for this
Thank you.
episode. Michelle, thank you.
This is a productive session. We feel like we got places.
We'll need you on next time to keep the peace.
I mean, if we could do some kind of unofficial non-therapy therapy,
There's
then,
another
I
therapist
have to make.
in Logan. I don't know.
Yeah, Logan. Yeah, but he didn't email you. See, so
no, he
No,
does not.
no.
He does not.
Logan can just stay in the Discord. He's
Oh,
a man. You
yeah,
got a lot
I
of men.
Chatted up
Yeah,
with
yeah.
chatted up with all the bros in Discord instead of emailing us like
Michelle was taking a lot of notes too.
Like I've like I've requested multiple times. Email.
I got my-
Please email. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Michelle,
Thank
once
you
again,
so much.
thank you.
Yep,
I'm
appreciate
Gabi.
Appreciate you guys. This has been great. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
This Jerry.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tolerating this episode of the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.